Today I'm going to show you guys how to make eggs with peppers and tomatoes and avocado in a nice little breakfast bowl ready to go. Feeling really good today. I was in a funk for the last couple days, but I'm actually feeling really great today. What's happening, everybody? Beautiful week this week. Did about 50K in new business, something like that. I'm up around 90 something for the month. Anyway, it's been a really good week. I'm really in a roll, like, you know, shaking the tree, getting those clients in the door, making things happen. Things are starting to pick up, and you know, I'm really happy with that. And it's just time to scale. I hired a new head of sales, and we're gonna start to build out a team and increase our lead flow and all that great stuff. So super excited.
My flag boy and your flag boy sitting by the fire. My flag boy says your flag boy.
It's bored. It's about 2:20 heading to Charlotte and then San Diego.
Group 1 and all eligible Advantage credit card members, you may board doorway D3 through the main boarding lane.
San Diego, baby. Here we are. I don't want to make too much noise, nobody's still sleeping, but take a look at this view. It is gorgeous here. And the hosts are really nice. David and Angela, thank you guys for being awesome hosts. Called up a few people. My buddy Ryan and I are going to grab lunch, then I'm going to his place to use his webinar, his internet for the webinar. Awesome. Productive day so far. Hit the gym, did a couple miles, feeling good. Got the house to myself for the most part. It's me and Annie the dog, little chocolate lab, and I am gonna keep cranking on some work. I've got some appointments this afternoon. I got a coaching call tonight, a couple more little calls, just talking to awesome people about interesting stuff. It's a beautiful day today. Sunny San Diego, California. I am at day 2. I'm about to go to day 2, Leadership Mastery by Tony Robbins. Tony's not here for this event. He doesn't do all the events. He skips on life and wealth and leadership and a couple others. So he can focus more time on the bigger events, Date with Destiny, UPW. These, however, are run by some really awesome facilitators. Joseph McLennan, his partner in crime, who, if you've been to UPW, you've probably seen Joseph for 2 of the 4 days at UPW. You've got Vicky St. George, you've got Tad Schenke. There's just a lot of great facilitators. There's probably about 24 people here working on this event, not including the support staff. So it's really been awesome to see all the different perspectives. My man Scotty, my man Steve got up on stage and just crushed it with a presentation on anchors. We learned about the 7 master steps of change. We learned about the 4 different ways we can kind of check in and focus on where people are at, which is a kind of 30,000 foot view of the master process of change. Meaning, if you meet somebody that wants to make a change in their life, how do you assess where they're at? How do you enter their world? And then how do you help them shift, right? How do you create anchors? How do you create triggers, if you will, so that people can get into a better state without too much trouble? How do you erase or eliminate that old pattern that might be holding them back and might be triggered to come up at any particular time? We all have these, right? It doesn't matter if you've been, you know, sober for 20 years. If you come across an environmental or emotional trigger that caused you to want to drink, you're still going to want to drink. It's just how you deal with that in that moment and how strong your new pattern, new habit is to cope with that, right? It may never go away completely. You know, you'll always be triggered in some way. Sense memory, for example, is a really strong trigger. right? If you smell a certain food or a certain beverage, you might be more inclined to think about those types of things, or you'll be brought back to a different time in your life. So it's really interesting and fun seminar so far, because we're learning a lot about the way the human mind works and psychology, and then how to use those principles that we all have, right, based on our, you know, different proclivities and our different ways of interacting with each other and our different ways to process information, to help each other to move past some of these different things, right? So there's been a lot of workshops. We've learned about, you know, how people communicate, whether it be visually, auditorially, or kinesthetically, and how to deal with that. We've learned about how to, you know, enter people's model of the world and really learn to appreciate it. And one of the things I think that struck me the most was that, and I do this a lot with my own coaching, is that I think Tony, and he says this, he does this for sure, he throws himself into situations that he doesn't have the answers to, with that clear, confident certainty that he will find the answer if he tries hard enough and long enough, right? Because he's got the steps, he doesn't know how it's going to come out, but as long as he follows the format, the program, right, the 7 master steps, he will eventually get to the answer. Whether it takes him 5 minutes or 3 hours, he will eventually get there. So use that formula to dig out information that he's going to need to get the leverage he needs to help that person make that shift, right? He needs to know what their worldview is. He needs to appreciate it. He needs to understand what needs they're trying to meet with their old pattern, right? He needs to understand how they communicate, what's important to them, to really shift that person in a way that will not only be instantaneous, but also lasting throughout the course of their life. So it's a really interesting and valuable way to do it. So that is kind of my review of day 1. It was really awesome. I'm really excited to dive into more of these types of tools and techniques. And I think that's my car, so I will be heading out.